Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to record this. So for people who didn't get a chance to come on, they will be able to watch this. Okay, are you ready to kind of go ahead and go over the message?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, all right. I think that's pretty much. You know, I don't see Brad though. Is he here?
Brad's on. Yep. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. We got Jeff. We got okay. All right. Okay. So I think that's the extent of our invite today. So why don't you go ahead and share what you got? I think it's pretty phenomenal. And for those of you who have not spoken to Dan before, Dan, boy, you know, this guy here is amazing. You know, the technology that he can bring forth to help our team grow. I just thought that, you know, it was just such a good find for us. And so today, what he's doing is he's going to share with us on how to utilize the tools that we have. And, you know, the goal with doing this is that, you know, once we understand how to utilize this tool, then we feel that, you know, you can recruit a lot of people. You can get a lot of customers out of this as a result. And we should be able to grow very, very quickly with this. So with that said, I'm going to turn the time over to Dan.
All right. Thank you, Richard. I actually have two secrets I wanted to share with everybody today. You know, we've got access to many different technologies, and I was brainstorming with Richard 2 days ago, and it just kind of gelled together on some of the things that we have on how to utilize it better for recruiting purposes. And I just thought, you know, we've got the SmartGuy network. I know how to utilize that nationwide, not just here in Utah. And I thought, what would be the ideal if I just joined Crown PCS and I wanted to build a large team of distributors nationwide? What would be the easiest way to do that? Well, if we took advantage of the timing we have right now with SmartGuy, because they have access for us to have a free hosted website that gets ranked on the first page of Google, what if you were, let's say I came to you and said, if you join my team and you're in, let's say, Sacramento, California, and I said, hey, you join my team, I will give you 10 separate websites, one for all your surrounding cities. I'll give you the one for Sacramento. I'll give you Stockton, Call, you know, Manteca, Modesto, Orland, you know, everything around. I'll give you 10 cities around your area, and I show them that they're already the first up on Google or on the first page somewhere at Google. And I said, okay, in 2 minutes I can sign this over. This one will be yours if you're part of my team. Would you? And you get all the leads from that for that city. How likely do you think that person would be to join your team if you went to them and had that? And then you said, I will give you 10 cities surrounding in your area that you can go and recruit 10 separate people to do the same thing. Wouldn't that allow you to recruit some people and give them a highly valued front page listing on Google for Crown PCS? Now, if I really wanted to grow quickly, I would go and get 100 cities and say, I'm going to use 10 for myself, set the example, and I'll give those 10 away, and I'll give 10 to each of those 10. So I would then have a team of 100 people probably within about 30 days. It wouldn't take long. Heck, with word of mouth, it can go very quickly when you're the one providing them front page Google listing for Crown PCS in that city. Now, if it was me, I'd go get 1,000, frankly, and I would say, all right, I'm going to get my top 10 leaders, and I'm going to give them each 100 cities. And then I'll let them get their top 10 leaders, and they'll give away 10 cities to each of their people. And I'd have 1,000 people on my team. Why not? In the way SmartGuy works is each individual city, we can get a separate listing and ranking. There already is the article about Crown PCS and down the side, it lists the different cities where we set up a website. And so if somebody's looking specifically for Charlotte, North Carolina, they can look there and find who is the exclusive, only listed Crown PCS distributor that has that city. And from the general site that gets listed quickly, they can find a local distributor. Well, we only feature one in each city. Besides, Google will put that up there within that city if somebody's looking for cell phone service or, cheaper cell phone service, better wireless plans, that kind of thing. It'll list it on Google anyway. So there's multiple ways that we can drive traffic. But I think of it from a recruiting standpoint. How can I get 1,000 people on my team where really I'm only recruiting 10 key leaders and I'm giving them each 100 so they can turn around and find their 10 leaders and they can give them 100 or 10 each cities in their area, and then they can work individually to find the right person they want to have over their city. One way to grow nationwide really quick. Now, if you list in the United States, the top 10 or the top populated cities, there's like 19,000 incorporated cities listed.
Wow.
14,500 or so are cities underneath 5,000 in population or less. So, technically we can go out there and get 19,000 free websites that get ranked on Google on the front page for Crown PCS in 3 separate categories. So we really could recruit and grow and offer this while it's available. Once it fills up, that's another story. But I'm just saying we've got some unique timing because all of those categories are open right now. I know a lot of you, especially Lynette, took a bunch in Utah. There still are a few available. And if anybody'd like to call me, I can go over what is if you want to work a specific area. But one thing, we have somebody that's automated the process of signing up those free cities for SmartGuy. Anybody can go in there and do it manually themselves over and over. It takes a little time, especially your first time until you get used to it, and then you can manually do that. It takes you, a handful of minutes each to do so. We have somebody that actually automated that process to where if you want 1,000 cities, they've wrote a little algorithm that they can set that up in a very short period of time, and you don't have to manually do it yourself over and over. If your time is, worth as much as mine, then I don't have time to do that either, frankly. But I'll pay somebody to do it, and I did just as a test, and I paid him 50 cents a city. I said, go get me a couple hundred cities. Paid him $100, got 200 cities, and he had it done in just like a couple hours. It sure beat me manually trying to do it, which would have taken a week at least of my time. So if you want to have, I know the guy will charge you like 50 cents a city, to be fair to him.
Oh, wow.
But he created the way to do it. And there are some quality control things.
For those that don't have the time, I think to go and do one city for 50 cents, that's really a big deal. But I didn't realize that there are that many cities throughout the United States. So we're talking big and small, about 30,000.
19,000. There's 19,000, like 154 or something like that. Now, what I would suggest is, since 14,000 of them are population 500 or 5,000 or less, let's go out there and get 5,000 in each of the 3 categories. Let's go get the biggest populated cities. New York's got 8.3 million people in it. I would start there. If I'm going to get one city, let's get LA that has 3 million and something people in it. Then we'll go to Chicago, Dallas, we'll go right down the rankings. There's 310 cities that are over 100,000 people. And the way SmartGuy works is it's per incorporated city. So to utilize that as a tool to help you recruit, if you really want to boost a business nationwide really quick and you don't want to have to manually do it, you can do it manually for free. But if you want to pay some kid who's working his way through college that created a computer program to do it for 50 cents each for you, hey, you do it at whatever works for you. If you want, you got to do at least like 100 because it's not even worth his time in the setup cost. But, if you want for $50, let them get you 100 cities that'll help you get the ranking, and then turn around and recruit 100 people with it, or recruit 10 people and give them 10 so they can recruit their 10. Make it easy on pick who your 10 key leaders are. And, if I'm the leader saying, hey, I'm offering you this, do you think they look to you as the leader? You're like, wow, thanks. You're even giving me 10 to go recruit 10 people with.
Oh, I love that.
Add value
I
as a
love that
leader.
idea.
People will look to you as the leader. Now, I've talked to some people already. I'm thinking, I'm going to go buy 5,000 myself and take one of the categories. You guys can have the other 2 categories. I was able to get, I told you guys I wouldn't compete too much, but I'm tempted. So I'll let whoever's interested, it's just an idea, but we do have some key timing with SmartGuy on the free is out there and totally open right now. But what happens is, as there's more competition, if you've got 5 or 10 distributors in the same city, somebody is going to pay the exclusivity or pay the $69 a month to have exclusivity on that. But right now, they're all available and you can get them for free. I would say get a bunch of free Google leads and recruit people and sell product for a while until there's enough distributors there that somebody else says, no, I want it. Now, technically, whoever pays the premium will always keep that exclusivity. So you may want to upgrade at some point if it's making you a bunch of money, but I like free as long as I can get free. But the problem is we don't know how long it'll be free. It's free until somebody else takes it from you, because if it's free, it's open. It's free game until somebody wants to pay for the exclusive within the referral system of SmartGuy. And they don't just get the Google listing, they get an article written about them that also gets ranked, so it gets 2 spots on Google. And then they also are the only one featured within that city. Anybody for cell phone service in that category gets referred from all other 1,500 businesses within that city. They get all the referrals for that category. So in the meantime, take the free. But with competition, as it increases, other people, including other distributors, will say, no, I want the exclusive. It's like a major city, You can make that determination on your own. SmartGuy does charge $69 if you want to keep the exclusive, but you do get additional, like 10 other additional benefits over the free service. But while all the free are open right now, I just happen to know about it because I work with SmartGuy and own all the territories for Utah. I encourage you guys to take all the free you can, because Google's going to send the leads to some cell phone company, and it may as well be ours, right?
Yep.
And even better is use it as a means to recruit leaders for yourself in different cities.
With it being so open,
if you're interested in that, I'm sorry, say that again.
I said, with the whole U.S. territory, completely open right now. What do you think that means?
Yeah, nobody's thought about it other than our little group starting here in Utah. And we're like, you know what? This is a nationwide company. Let's take all the rest of it.
Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that, so let's say, let's say Lynette says, you know what, I'm going for 1,000. And then, out of that 1,000, she have officially, built her team, because she can get a 10, and then the 10 get their 10. And just right there, who doesn't want to have the ability to rank number 1, number 2 on those keywords, and says, hey, you know what, come and join me. We already have, listings, that are.
I'll have business people fighting to be part of the team because they want me to give them those free 10 Google ranked cities. Yes. And I'm like, I spent $5 for it. Okay, you know what? I'll spend more than $5 into my team, but they don't need to know that right now. They're looking at the value of that is enormous. And they look to you as a leader when initially you're usually talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I don't know. And, let me think about it, all that kind of stuff. No, if you're offering them that, you are definitely a leader. You're taking charge, and people look at you differently and treat you differently. You're not just out there recruiting and, hey, join this. And, you know, everybody has some opportunity out there that they all get approached with. Let's give them something that no other network marketing company is doing, because I haven't told them that they can do this. We're the first ones who's going to take advantage of SmartGuy in this manner and make it unique to what we're doing.
Okay.
As I said, nobody else in SmartGuy gets it. You and I, Richard, 2 days ago, brainstormed and came up with, why don't we do it this way, actually? We've got access. Why not? Now, what's funny is, in my other companies that are not MLM, we just have different products that we sell. I've already practiced and sent it out there all over the U.S. for several hundred cities just to test it, like our telemedicine product or other things like that. And I have SmartGuy city leaders that are the referral network leaders in different major cities throughout the U.S. I have them joining or purchasing my product. So wow. I think just getting it out there, we'll end up recruiting the SmartGuy city network leaders first, because they have to check out the company as they verify each one that comes into their city. And they'll say, hey, this is pretty cool. I've had them buying other products already. So, hey, you never know. They are very influential because they own the territory rights for, you know, let's say Dallas or Houston or New York or whatever. And as they check out each company, they refer it to the other 1,500 companies that they work with within their city. You know, they own an exclusive referral network, and Crown PCS will be the only cell phone company within that referral network. So guess where they send all their leads from? The plumbers and electricians and mortgage people and everybody else, everybody who uses cell phones, they're going to send it to Crown PCS.
Wow.
So whether it's the SmartGuy city network leaders that end up, you cherry pick who you want your leaders to be. You're building your own team. I'm not going to tell you who to recruit and who not to recruit. You cannot measure the desire of someone's heart. If you've got a real go-getter, you know, give them a little challenge. Hey, you do this, I'll give you another city or two to help you recruit another one, you know. But if you set up the cities, initially nobody else knows about it, so nobody's going to take them for a while. Use that as the leverage, as that free tool to build your team quickly. Now, yeah, eventually somebody's going to take them. You're not going to have them forever, but unless you upgrade personally in each of those. But let your leaders pay for that and figure if that's working for them. Initially, it's going to help you build a team very quickly, any city you want in the U.S. But I personally, if it was me, I would start with the first 5,000, because those are the biggest populated. You know, out of the 19,000 cities in the U.S., 5,000 have more than 50% of the U.S. population covered. So what I would say, if anybody wants our guy to do the automated version so they don't have to manually enter, you can go around right now and anybody can snag any city they want nationwide. You can do it yourself. If you want the help of our guy who set up that and can do like massive numbers for you, go ahead and contact me. Let me know which of the 3 categories you're interested to do it in. And what we'll do is just take the highest populated city. You know, if you want 100 of them, we'll take the first 100. The next person who calls in, we'll take, you know, number 100 through 200 for We'll just go down the, you know, what's still available within that category based on how Google ranks, you know, who's got the largest population base. But that all I'm willing to do, first come, first serve. Just let us know the category, let us know, you know, how many cities you're interested, and then we can have our guy do it, or go do it yourself. You're welcome to. You don't need us to do it. You can go at whatever pace you'd like.
Wow. Okay.
But that's idea number 1. Literally, I feel you can recruit anywhere from. You should easily be able to recruit 100 people within 30 days, adding that kind of value. If you have an inventory of free cities that you can, free Google listings on the front page that you can offer a potential recruit. Does anybody agree with me? Would they join my team if I said I'm going to give you 10 top cities in your area?
Absolutely.
And it's already on page 1 in each city.
Yeah,
Every day.
I think. All
there's
right, now you're
something.
already on Richard's team, so hey, I'm just here to help you build it. But here's what I would do if it's my team. And as I said, I'm very tempted to go take a category and say, you guys can have the other two categories. I'm not going to take them all, to be fair, but I promised you I would share. I don't get paid anything for SmartGuy unless it's in the actual cities I own here in Utah, which are not the largest cities in the U.S., by the way. So most of what I'm doing is just sharing an idea that came to me, and I thought, hey, this is the way to build Crown PCS quick. And by the way, SmartGuy is nationwide. It's not just nationwide; it's worldwide. But let's start with the U.S. We got plenty of business here, and then Canada or whatever, however else you expand. But just so you know, for the future, as company continues to grow, SmartGuy is already in every country out there.
Wow. So
wherever Google is, so is SmartGuy.
When we expand to Canada and
we
Mexico,
can use this into the future, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. You got it. All right. You want secret number 2?
Yes.
Recruiting secret number 2. All right. Here's the way when I started my own network marketing company years ago. Here is the easiest way to build a team or recruit a team. First of all, ask yourself, why do most people join any opportunity? What is it they really are after?
Making money.
They typically want to make money, right? We're in business. We're entrepreneurs. We want to make extra income, whether we want to make a little extra income part-time when we have a full-time job someplace else, or we're a professional networker. We can build it into a full-time income very quickly. The average person, though, just wants to make a few $100 extra a month. And what's amazing is, for so many families out there in America, an extra 200, in fact, the stats are for people who filed bankruptcy. I mean, stuff happens in life. My son has so many medical bills from a car accident he had that the insurance companies aren't covering, all kinds of games that he's a college student who had a car accident. Stuff happens. He even had health insurance. He had car insurance. Didn't matter. He's done everything right in his life, but he's stuck with these astronomical medical bills that insurance didn't cover. So whatever their situation in life is, 75, or they say of the bankruptcies out there, 75% of them could have been solved if the person had just an extra $250 a month more.
Wow.
How much of a difference can you make if you just help them make a few $100 more a month? That's really what the average person needs to relieve some of the stresses of life, whether it's debt or whatever the situation is. But just a few extra $100 makes a difference in the bankruptcy side. It's 75% of the cases. So in general, I'd say even if you're only helping them make $300, $400, $500 a month, you are making a difference for people's lives out there on a part-time referral kind of basis. What an amazing opportunity we have with a product everybody uses. Now, I don't think everyone on the phone understands, because there's so much thrown at you and everything's new right now. But you have access, if you've bought the starter kit from Crown PCS, you get the SIM cards, you get part of that. Richard is lined up to where you get the first month of TaxPal free, or it's included. It's already covered as part of the startup cost. It's actually not free, but it's covered. So you can test it out for 30 days, try it. The average person, when they move from an employer or employee to an employer status, which by having a Crown PCS business, you now have the ability to give somebody an opportunity. You're an employer, and all the tax laws that open up for small business owners, there's so many of them that the average person that tracks and writes off things they can legally and properly write off saves about $500 a month from tracking and using the TaxPal software. We guarantee they'll at least save $250 a month. Which right there, as I said, the average is about 500. It's actually like 450 something. But I had one guy, he came into me after one of our tax deduction seminars that showed him all the things he can deduct. He goes, my accountant didn't teach me this, but you just shared one idea that saved me $32,000, and it was on April 13th. He says, I'm filing an extension, and I'm going back to my accountant and say, you deduct this, buddy. Here's the tax code. Here's exactly how to do it. And he did. He says, you saved me so much money that year. I'm glad I listened to your one little class. But one thing we do, if you go in, take advantage of TaxPal, as I said, it's already part of your enrollment, it's covered. Everybody just go to the link from the startup page, or you can go directly to taxpal.net. It could take you to the same place and enroll in there. It's already covered for you. You then get to start, there's education pieces on, besides the tracking, you've got to track things properly in order to get proper legal deductions. That's the biggest problem the IRS has, is people not tracking things properly. The TaxPal software is the most compliant software out there. And if you use some of the little tax tips that we send, and I'll actually be teaching some classes on it, as I said, the average person saves several hundreds of dollars. So it fulfills the real issue just there. Now, obviously, we want to teach you to make money, but right off the bat, you're making a difference for a family, because now you're teaching them how to act like an employer and deducting everything they can properly and legally deduct so they can expand their business faster. We don't want to just do it to lose money, or write off. You don't write off losses. It's all about making money. So, but there is a cash flow difference of several hundreds of dollars for the average person, which then you can turn around and expand your business even more quickly. So what we do, what I did when I recruited a huge team of people when I started a company, was literally the average person is throwing $20 out the window every day. So I'd walk around with a $20 bill, say, hey, by not having a business, there goes 20 bucks. See you tomorrow, where you throw away another 20 bucks. And every day they throw away another 20 bucks out of the window, because they're overpaying just by not taking advantage of the tax advantages a business, by owning a business, a home-based business that they can do. And so I said, well, 30 days later, you just wasted $500-600 bucks. You want to be in business or not? Do you have a business? Great. If you got one, go with it. If you don't, I've got a great one for you with a product everybody uses. And you hold up your cell phone. Save you 20 bucks a day. How'd you like to keep 20 bucks more in your pocket every day? That's basically how simple it is to help somebody think about, I need to be in business for myself, not working for someone else. Now, for most, they need to, work the day job, work it part-time, but we've got some tools we can help them build it very quickly to where you can build it into a more full-time income, especially, as I said, using SmartGuy and other tools that we've got. But don't forget, I know a lot of people are not aware that they've got access to TaxPal. Use it as everybody should have a business, build a business so they can have the advantages that business owners get in this country. That's why the economy grows more than anything else, is because IRS is given advantages if you're the business owner. Spurs the economy, employs people, it's a win-win for all. So take advantage of those. If you haven't already, go to taxpal.net, do the enrollment, and use it for 30 days. If you like it, stay with it. If you don't, that's okay. But there is a guarantee that if it's not saving you at least $250 or more a month, you'll get the subscription fee back. So it's going to cost you nothing to try. If anything, it's going to save you a lot of money. It's
interesting, Dan, that, an average person, they can increase their income base by $250 or $300 a month. That prevents a lot of people from filing bankruptcy. And then just by just starting this business, right there, they're going to be able to realize that, or just before they do anything else. You there, Dan?
Yeah, I'm there. Sorry, I had a little phone issue. Can you say that last part again?
Me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Sorry, say that last part again, please.
No, I was just saying that, if we approach this business from that standpoint, that everyone need to be in the employer mindset mentality where, by just having a business, they're really putting back, $20 a day
Right.
back into their pocket just because of the business status. And that's, not factoring in all these other additional benefits that we're providing them. So I think when we are presenting our plans, I think this is something that is very, very crucial. Another thing that I'm thinking of right now, Dan, and everyone here should sign up with a Tax Pal, just so that way Dan can see how many people are, are going to take advantage of it. And then can you possibly do the first consultation with everyone?
Actually, we have a customer service force that does it that's better than me. But I will be involved in teaching the what tax deductions you can take as a small business owner. I used to do that for financial services reps all over the U.S., and it was the most popular class of everything we taught to in the financial world. So because they're all independent contractors too. But I always use, as I said, that $20 a day. That's what you're missing out by not having your own business. So, hey, go get a business is what it's easy to recruit if you start on that. But our customer service people for TaxPal will actually walk you through the enrollment process, any questions you have, help you get your record keeping set up properly. Because if you do not keep your records properly, you don't get the deductions. You cause problems for your business. So a very key part of running a business properly is you got to have proper bookkeeping and record keeping systems. And that's why we've made the software available. We also have a manual version if some people are not very high tech. That's very simplistic. And we can make either one available just depending on what helps you track your records the best way. The key is, get as much ammo to your tax preparers, accountants, or whoever you're working with, unless you do your own taxes. I found it's simplified things so much that I literally, a lot of times, can do my own, unless I have some complex cases. But taxes aren't as hard and scary as you think. But if you want every deduction, there's 6 common deductions, and then there's about 60 others that get you as much as the biggest first 6. And one of those 6 is employing your spouse or children or things like that. You realize it's my son that created that algorithm, by the way. My kids do not ask me for money. They ask me for a chance to work. And so I give them a project to work on. Well, it's an 18-year-old son working his way through college that created that algorithm. And I'm like, you know how much I can use that in business now with any product out there? So never underestimate a kid. But first of all, if I have him as an employee, what's his tax bracket compared to mine?
0, isn't it?
Well, for the first, so many thousands per year, I don't pay them allowance. I let them earn their money. They can pay for their own, dance classes, piano lessons, football uniforms, cheerleading uniforms. Hey, they've got plenty of money. Theirs is in the lowest tax bracket possible. I make sure they max it out, but I put them to work because they want to work. It makes them feel more productive. They learn a good ethic, which I think every parent wants to do for their kids anyway. But it's also a way to transfer an expense from my business to my employees, in this case, children. And if they're under 18, at one point, understand I had 5 kids under 18 living in the house. So if I can move over, say $14,000, $15,000 per person times 5, I can move $75,000 out of my bracket into their bracket and let them pay for their own stuff.
Yeah.
So, and save the difference
what is
so
the
they can put
youngest
themselves
age
through college.
that you can employ, Dan?
What's that?
What's the youngest age
I'm sorry, say that part again.
that you can employ?
Now, you do need to, I mean, to be a proper employee, they need to have a job description. They need to have a time card. You know, they need to act and look and be like, you know, a business. You don't just give away stuff that's inappropriate and you get in trouble for that. So I'm not recommending doing anything wrong here. Typically, I mean, when my kids were 7 years old, I had them washing the company car, emptying the home office trash, vacuuming the home office space. You know, I wrote off a home office space. You know, we're an appointment business. The car had to look good, so they love to wash the car. I give them $5. You know, they loved it. And I had a clean car, so it's a win-win. But usually you can go as low as about 7 is justifiable. Now, have you ever noticed those billboards out there where they have the whole entire family, everybody smiling, whether it's a dentist service or a car salesman or whatever? You know, you got the whole family picture, right? It's not just the owner or one of the employees. Well, the reason why, if you had to hire a child model, what's the going rate for a child model? I don't know. Look it up, right? In your city, you can look up, and that's how much you can pay your 2-year-old as the child model. But it's funny how, I'm sorry, some kids are cute, some aren't. If it's not the cutest kid, but they're in there, it's probably because it's part of the family and they're using the child model, you know, scenario, and they're deducting appropriately because you got to pay somebody to be on the billboards, right? Does that make sense?
Sure.
So you can look up for children. There are laws to not be abused, so don't get too crazy. But I'm just trying to get you to think outside the box a little bit. Obviously, the key is to give your tax people, your accountants, tax preparers, so forth, all the ammo possible. They can do a better job for you, and let them say, hey, you can deduct this, you can't deduct that. Now, we'll actually get you information if you're interested in the actual tax law. We end up educating a lot of tax preparers because they can't keep up. To be fair to them, they can't keep up to all the small business tax deductions that are available. So sometimes you have to help them out, but the best way to help them out is track everything properly, and then give them the ammo to do their jobs best they can come April.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what I like to do is share different ideas of, hey, track this properly, and then sometimes they change tax laws anyway. So you do need to get with a professional and make sure they're doing it right. License on the line at that point, but do a good job for you if you're just handing them a shoebox of receipts and saying, hey, my ending odometer is this and my beginning odometer was this, and make up in between. They can't do that. That's not right. It's not legal. So there are lots of simple tools like Mileage IQ that's free for your first 40 trips per month, which your stuff is usually about 40 or less anyway. Use services like that will track it as a mileage app online. You swipe one way for business versus swipe one way for personal, and it tracks it all for you. It's all about tracking. If you've got proper tracking, then you're more likely to be IRS compliant. You gotta make sure you track the right stuff though. But that's why I want to help each of you think about how business owners think. And here's what you can deduct. Here's what you can't deduct. But here are the common things. Yeah, your home office, your travel, your health-related costs, and not just the premiums. You can do a health reimbursement arrangement, and just like a big company.
You mentioned something there. You said you can actually write off your health insurance costs?
Yes, most people, most self-employed only write off their premiums. You can set up the health reimbursement program and actually deduct everything if it's written into the company's policy. Now, understand, if you're like a big corporation and they said, I'm going to give all these extra benefits to my employees. I'm going to cover their chiropractic. I'm going to cover weight loss systems. I'm going to cover their gym membership, their vitamins, whatever. That's a very liberal health reimbursement program, right? Well,
Oh.
you're your own little company. You are your own little company. In my company, for all of my employees, now I have to do this for all of my employees equally. You can't discriminate. But all my employees are my children or spouse. So yes, I'm going to give them the most liberal. Of course, I'm going to cover cosmetic surgery. Of course, I'm going to cover chiropractic or something that may not be covered by my other, and I'll deduct it. So it makes, as long as they submit it as an employee to the employer, and it's written in the company's policy, so there is some paperwork that has to be done right, then the company can reimburse the employee as per policy. They can reimburse for those medical expenses that were out of pocket or weren't typically covered, the co-pays and all the stuff that wasn't typically covered. Well, my company policy is very liberal. That's all I'm saying. And if it falls under the company policy and you do it as a reimbursement, there is a proper way to do it. And for the average person, I mean, how much are the deductibles nowadays? Sometimes $6,000 for families. Well, doggone it. Let's show people how to properly even deduct that so it's pre-tax instead of post-tax. How much of a difference? The average family there saves $7,200 if they can a year for a family of three, if they can write off all the health stuff that they typically can't write off. Well, they can if they own their own business and they set up a health reimbursement arrangement properly. So there are little things you can do. That $7,200 more a year for a family, just that one deduction alone makes a huge, huge difference. So doggone it, all of my friends and family better be running their own business because there are ways to minimize taxes properly and deduct everything properly and act like a business owner, be in control of your life. But as you can see, there's more than just one way to save about $250. There's actually over 100. But as I said, health insurance is usually one of the biggest costs. As I said, employee, setting your family members up as employees of your company. And, I might not be able to cover my own health costs directly as the owner, but in my policy, I write it to where the employees and their immediate family are covered. Well, guess who the immediate family is? Me. So my stuff can be covered too.
Hey, I got a question,
so
man.
You just have to write it properly. You've got to document it properly. That's all it comes down to.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Dan?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
So you mentioned earlier that that you have to have some sort of a documentation to to let's say you're being very liberal with your health insurance package for your employee in this case. If you're an independent contractor, like let's say Josh right now is an independent contractor with Crown, how would he? What kind of documentation can he? What is it that he needs to do to document this so that if employing his children, that he's legal, that he's got some documentation.
Right. So what we've done is we've made it very easy. Obviously, to have an employee, you have to have them on payroll. So one thing we did just for you guys is when you sign up for TaxPal, there is a box you can check if you're interested in the payroll service. We've gone out there and arranged the most efficient, best payroll service out there that's less than half the cost of any competitor. Just so you can get the services you need and you don't have to go shop and get ripped off by who knows who. And you can find, we've already vetted and worked with a company that's done it for many, many years nationwide. They have done a special deal for us where they will do the payroll service for like less than half the cost of everybody else. So if you do want to take advantage of some of the deductions and make it easier, you can use your own payroll service if you'd like. We just have something arranged. If you're interested in tax, when you go in the enrollment section of TaxPal, it'll say interested in payroll or other health benefits and other benefit plans, things like that. Check the box. An additional enrollment form is filled out, and then that gets emailed to the HR benefit company and the payroll service that's available, and then they'll contact you and customize whatever your company needs and whatever you're trying to do. You can set up an entire 401k plan for yourself and have all the benefits pre-tax like you're working for a large corporation if you'd like. They've got all those things available for you. Or just do the payroll service, or whichever works for you. But as I said, the common 6 things that people write off, one is, have employees, but you need a payroll service to do that. So we try to make it simple. And then most people who are self-employed, we need health coverage of some kind. My personal opinion is I like telemedicine because it can take care of most stuff very inexpensively, and then buy like a catastrophic policy to fill in the difference. And it's just a much cheaper way than, they also have Cadillac plans and, all the fancy stuff too. So you can go for like bronze, silver, gold kinds of stuff, but they can customize it to whatever your family needs is, because everybody's family is different. And whatever can help save you money. But just so you're aware, if you click that box, those things are available, and you pick and choose what works for you. They're not pushy. They're just there to serve you and find ways to help save you money. So TaxPal has aligned with one of the largest companies out there, and because of the size and discount, they'll do it for half the cost. Try it. It might save you money.
Okay. Well,
but yeah,
really
you're going to need a payroll service if you're going to take advantage of employees.
So it's pretty automated.
And there are advantages. Yes. Yeah, we've tried to simplify and make the process easy. I am happy to kind of coach people through in a group setting, on these common deductions, which I didn't plan on covering those all today, but I just wanted to give you a feel of how you can deduct things, and because you are a business owner, and how you can use that to help others, that literally you save them hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month, just because you help give them a business that as an employee, you can't legally deduct any of those things. Only employers can. So help them be an employer, recruit them.
Okay.
That was my goal for today. Now I'll teach more detail on the common write-offs and where you can get more information on, if you want to set up a health reimbursement arrangement or whatever works for your situation. But that's a different class. Sorry, I kind of took a tangent today, but it gave you a little example of things that are available to you that you may not have considered. And I look at it as I'm offering people an opportunity to be in business for themselves. And with that comes a lot of benefits that people typically aren't informed of. So I wanted to make sure you guys are. And so secret number 2 is everybody should have their own home-based business. Stop throwing away $20 a day minimum. And you can give them that. Say, hey, I've got one and a universal product that everybody uses. What better business can you ask for? So recruiting secret number 2, teach them to be a business owner. Save $20 a day minimum.
Okay.
That kind of pays for even their cell phone bill, because cell phone bills aren't even $20 a day. It's more like $20 a month. There's maybe two days worth it pays for their cell phone bill just because they're in business.
Yeah. Wow,
that's a good new recruiting pitch. We'll just say, hey, how would you like your cell phone? How much do you pay on your cell phone each month? Oh, 60, 70, $80, whatever. All right. Well, how'd you like that? Besides making money, doing the service, but I'm like, stop throwing away $20 a day. It pays for itself every 4 days. You should have your own business. Do you? Nope. Okay. Would you like one? There we go. There's our new one more recruiting pitch.
I like
you should have your own business, so it's for free.
I really like the approach. I mean, you know, we're talking about you know, something that it's in people's mind. It's on people's mind all the time. You know, how they can save money, how they can take advantage of, you know,
but nobody teaches them. One of our goals at TaxPal actually is to help teach people how to be in business and run their business more efficiently and take all the legal proper tax deductions they can. So bring them in business. We will help coach them through the rest of it. You don't have to figure all this stuff out. Just know that you have an incredible recruiting tools. And when you start thinking that way, it makes building a business very simple. So go out there if you want to take advantage of the SmartGuy stuff. Go ahead, call or email me. Don't bombard me all at once here, guys. Okay, but I'm supposed to be in a meeting here in a couple minutes. But yes, feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to coordinate that effort, because if you guys don't take advantage of SmartGuy, I will, because I know how it works, and I'm trying to share that with you, just so we can all win together, because I can't do it at all. But I can easily use it and do it over time. I'd rather share with all you guys, and we all build the company very quickly.
Yeah.
And as I said, if you're interested in that, contact me. If you're interested in secret number 2, first go do it yourself. Go enroll in TaxPal. It's already covered for you. Go to taxpal.net, or just click from the link off of Crown PCS's website for the Fast Start package. And go ahead and enroll that and start the process of saving money for yourself. But you need to start with the record keeping systems is the most important part to properly keep the right records. And then you'll be invited into Zoom video calls and things like that, video meetings that will teach you some of the tax deduction and ideas you can use there for your own situation. Fair enough? There's my 2 tips for the day.
All right. Well, anybody else
Awesome.
with questions? Any questions, you guys, for Dan?
Thank you, Dan. You're the best.
You're
Thanks,
welcome.
Dan.
Let's go build a company the fun, fast way.
You're the man, Dan.
So
right,
I do have. I think Carl, because I think Carl left already. So he wants 1,000, and so I guess I should. I'll get you his. Well, I'll have him.
Tell me the category, and we're going to coordinate it, because we're not going to let one person take them all. But
right.
yeah,
Right,
have them. Just let me know which category, and
okay.
I'm going to try and help spread it around so everybody.
Right.
If everybody wants to take 1,000, great. We've got 3 categories, and I would say we'll at least do the first 5,000 per category, because that'll hit over half the U.S. population right there.
This is, with just this many people that we have, okay, you guys everyone here should have no problem whatsoever. Once we get all this here laid out, you shouldn't have any problem getting your 10, and then you have enough in your inventory of cities to get the 10, their 10. And then, once you're able to do that's just phenomenal. You kind of expanded, our conversation. I like this new thing where, go ahead and get 1,000. And then now you can help your 10 get their 10, and then that 10 get their 10.
Right, but you are providing the inventory for them, so they completely love you and value you as the leader. You're bringing so much value to them, because you're giving them an exclusive in a city, or at least that first opportunity. While it's all free and available, they can decide to upgrade and keep the exclusivity later, but there's going to be a lot of free out there for quite a long time. So Google's sending them somewhere. Let's take all the free leads we can get and make a bunch of money. And then if it's making more money than $69 a month, then keep the exclusive in that city.
Yeah.
If not, don't worry about it. It's free.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyone here that going to take advantage of this with Dan, or if you have some time, go for it. I mean, you can do this.
Contact me. I don't want to try and I don't want to coordinate over the phone.
Yeah. Yep. So, okay. Yeah, if you're interested.
And if you guys don't, I'll go do it myself. So I'm willing to share in the meantime. That's all. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up too. So I'm not just hogging this idea for myself now that we've got it down to a science on several tools that we're going to take advantage of. So as I said, if you guys want to text me, how many, if you're interested, how many and which of the 3 Crown PCS categories. My phone number is 801-472-3368. That's 801-472-3368. Just text me your name in case it doesn't recognize it in the phone. That way I know who I'm talking to, the category and how many, and we'll just take them in order in that category. And hey, let's go get 15,000 websites listed on the front page of Google in all the different major cities, and game over. They're all going to be part of our team, who are the ones that are on this call.
Yeah, that's just phenomenal. Okay, I hope this little tip is helpful for you guys. But I'm ready to grow, so I'm going to be getting with Dan here, and I want to get.
Well, first of all, everybody needs to go enroll into TaxPal, and by example, people will do exactly what you do as the leader. In fact, usually they do about half as much as what you do, frankly. So you always have to set the example as the leader, do it first, and go get familiar with the TaxPal software and show them, hey, I'm using this great record keeping system. It saved me money here, saved me money there, taught me some ideas, and it's fully compliant to where it's keeping track of the right things, so I can give my tax person at the end of the year, better records, and that way they can get the maximum deductions for me. Hey, I saved $6,000 this last year, and it's because I own my own business. Do you have your own business? Well, you should. Okay. You have a suggestion? Yes, I do, right? So, I mean, use it as a recruiting tool, but you need to do it first so you're familiar with it, so you can then say, hey, just do what I did. It's a simple process, but go through it yourself as the leader. That's why they'll follow you, because you led, you did it first. And then you have something you can walk them through and say, yeah, I did this next, and share ideas like that to expand each other's businesses and work together. But be the leader, enroll first, and you'll experience it for yourself. If it saves you a bunch of money, then you got a great story to tell of why they should be in business too. If it only saves you, $100, $200, well, that was an extra $100 to $200 more than you had last month, right?
That's right. That's right. From the standpoint,
but it will save you money, or we'll give you your money back, because we're not here to make money. We're here. Well, we actually are, but we know we'll help you make money. We'll eventually make money too, but we're not afraid to give back a refund if we didn't save you enough money. How's that? I want you to be cash flow positive is my goal.
All right, that's wonderful. Okay, now just so that way we're not, maybe duplicating or whatnot. Is there any way, when we're registering for like a city, for those that are doing it on their own, is there any way to know that we're not like taking a city that someone is already registered with?
You can look into the city network you're interested in and see if there's a Crown PCS already, somebody's already taken that category.
How do you do
because it
that?
will only let one person have the category. Go to smartguy.com and right in the tab or the little space in the air where it says inner city, just enter what city you're interested in, and it'll bring up, like if you put Salt Lake City, it'll bring up, I think we have like 222 different businesses in that network. You'll have to scroll down to see if there's a Crown PCS one or not. Obviously, Sandy, South Jordan, smaller places might only have 20 or 30 people in the network because we've only started it recently. So that's why I said I know there's a lot of open space. Lynette and others have jumped on it very quickly. So there's a lot of the Utah ones taken, but there still are some that are not. You can look it up that way, or just contact me and I'll I know where most of them are taken and where they're not, because I have a different way to track it. I've got back office access to everything. But I would say more than half of them in Utah are taken right now, but there still are some. So we'll fill in the rest of the gaps with who's interested. And then if you really want to take it nationwide, that's where I see this other tool, this algorithm that was created to where we don't have to do it manually, really can come in handy, or go out there and do it yourself in the meantime. Either way is fine. We're not here to charge you 50 cents. I don't care about that. I'm not making any money, but we are putting a kid through college. But do it because it helps you make money.
Okay. All right. So, well, you guys have Dan's phone number if you want to use that service. If not, then you can start cranking it. Just go with the big cities.
Yeah, I've already several of you that have texted me. So, I'll ask, do you want the next 100 available or the next 500 or whatever number you're interested in? We need to do it in like a minimum 100 because there are setup time for each one. And it's just not worth doing if you're just doing 5 or 10 cities kind of thing. You can do it yourself manually if that's all you're doing. Okay. So, if I'll coordinate it based on the people texting into me right now. And I'll call them back and coordinate that effort and say, I'm assuming you'll just take the next 100 or 500 or whatever they're interested in that are available, and we'll just go with the largest populated. I think that's the easiest way to track it. But if there is a specific area, we can designate that, in the specific state that you only want to work, Texas or something like that, or California or something. I'm just saying I typically would go after largest population is my opinion, but some people want to only build a certain area, and that's great. So do specify what area, and we'll try to designate that out for you and get all the surrounding cities and the same state, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So just tell me what you're looking for. We'll try to coordinate it best we can. But we do have 3 categories, so you guys are the last ones that got that, and there's only been less than a handful that got it in the first place. I did talk the owner of SmartGuy into it. So that's why I figured when we were brainstorming the other day, Richard and I were like, there's got to be a way we take advantage of this, and it just hit us, and we're like, okay, I want to go do this now. I got the secret weapon. And Richard's like, share it with everybody else. I'm like, okay, I'll share. But I'll give you guys first dibs, but if you don't, I will, because I know how to use this tool.
Yeah, I think.
But I'd rather help all of you guys do it too, because it's more fun to win together.
Yeah. I think right now, our leaders here that are present here, we really need to start to think, whether you want 100 or you want, 1,000 or whatnot. If you want 100, then there you go. That's enough to build your top 10. And that shouldn't.
Right.
Go ahead.
I've already got multiple people texting me, so they're on it. You've got the leaders on board right now, so
okay.
I know I'm talking to the right group. They understand what we're saying here.
Okay, very good. All right. Is there any other questions, you guys?
If you guys, as I said, if you don't, I will. But no, I'm glad there's a bunch of people we can share it with here. You've got great group already put together. Let's all have some fun together.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. All right. I guess that concludes our meeting today. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and I hope it's helpful for all. And then if you have any additional questions for me, you have my number. Contact me anytime, and then we can have some discussions as to, strategize on how we can, take advantage of all that we have here for you. Otherwise, you got Dan's number here, and let's start taking advantage of this. Okay.
And everybody enroll in TaxPal. It's already covered. You already paid for it. You might as well get your money's worth.
Yes. Yep.
Enjoy that and see if it
Dan and I had a big,
Can
long
save
discussion
you some
before
extra
all
money.
this is, done. So yeah, TaxPal is a very, very big deal for us. And I think once you understand it, it is a very, very big recruiting tool, especially, those that you're talking to. Okay, so here's what we're, to sum all this up, here's what we got. Okay, we have a business platform where, if you're talking about a wireless cell phone kiosk or a storefront, okay, it costs $100,000. Anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 to have one of the wireless cell phone storefront, okay, and then essentially, we're going to be able to do the same thing. We offer our leaders the same ability. We're going to be able to activate new phones. We're going to be able to port in new phones. You can sit in front of people and be able to, help them just the same as if, they had walked into a storefront. All right. And so now, with that ability, we got all these other benefits that is, a part of our platform here. It doesn't cost $50,000 or $100,000. It costs $100. And then now we're talking about all these tax benefits and, the referrals and all that kind of thing. I think, we got a lot. We have a lot to offer. So anyways, keep that in mind. Okay, I think that's it then, guys. Thank you again, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.